I turn right back around, yeah. Give me one reason to stay here, babe, and I'll turn right back around, yeah. 'Cause I don't wanna leave you lonely. You better make me change my mind. Yeah, baby, I got your number on, and I know that you got mine. You know that I called you, baby, and I called too many times. You can call me, baby, you can call me anytime, but you got to call me. Yeah, give me one reason to stay here. Oh, and I turn around, yeah. Give me one reason to stay here, baby, and I turn right back around, yeah. 'Cause I don't wanna leave you lonely. You better make me change my mind. Play a little bit, Tyler. I can love you, oh, and I'll give you what you need. Yeah, it's you, I can love you, baby, and I'll give you what you need, yeah. Oh, I'm too old to go chasing you around, wasting my precious energy. Yeah, so give me one reason to stay here when I turn right back around, yeah. Give me one reason to stay here, baby, and I'll turn right back around, yeah. 'Cause I don't wanna leave you lonely. You better make me change my mind. We'll bring it down right. Oh yeah, I don't wanna leave you lonely. You better make me change my mind. Kevin Powers, Tyler Mallon, Scott Stowe. Thank you very much.
Tune in every Monday and Friday night, 10 p.m. Eastern Time for Straight Talk with Matt Hasley. Live audio on TuneIn Radio and Spreaker.com. Plus live video on Ustream.tv. From the demented minds at ArmedRadioGlobal.com.
Mom, can you pack me some cookies for school today?
Finally, as a mother, I want to share about St. Julian's macaroons. I am concerned about my child's health. So I pack for his lunchbox, and after school, I give him St. Julian's macaroons as a healthy alternative to many of the store-bought cookies. There are no preservatives and only 100 calories, and he really likes them. So find them in the freezer section at your local supermarket or order online today at www.macaroons.com.
Hey, Joe Rocks, it's Louie Avis, straight from Chi-Town. Call and talk about our website, www.hotsaucevault.com. We got everything you can think of out there, Joe. The hottest hot sauces, not for wimps, mild, medium sauces. We got barbecue sauces, snacks, some of our gift ideas and gag gifts, so you can go out and check us out at www.hotsaucevault.com. Hope to talk to you again on your radio show. Kick-ass show. Had a great time last week. Hope to hear from you soon. Take care, Joe. hotsaucevault.com.
If you're looking to reward, celebrate, recognize, or advertise, get help from the pros at Creative Marketing. Custom imprinted products to give that event a lasting impression. Log on to Creative Marketing on Facebook and click the Call Us button. With over 700,000 products, we're sure to find what is right for you. Remember, think Creative Marketing for all your adware needs.
Are you hangry? Know the signs. Uncontrollable yelling.
Why aren't you egg rolls?
Hallucination.
Sushi.
Pants discomfort.
I hate you, pants.
Hangry. It can happen to anyone. Fortunately, there's E24, the app that tells hunger to shut up.
Egg rolls. Thanks, Snoop.
E24. In my medical opinion, it's the best way to order food online, baby.
Route 106 Motors is the home of fine pre-owned vehicles. Experience a no-pressure sale with a family-friendly atmosphere. Route 106 Motors has been practicing the same simple philosophy of low prices for over a decade, and it has brought us great success. Recently, while other dealers are closing their doors, Route 106 Motors is expanding. We are a wholesale dealer, and we own the property and pay cash for all the vehicles. This allows us to sell to the consumer for a lot less than the average dealership. We are a high-volume, small-profit dealer, and we pass the savings on to you. New changes have been made at Route 106 Motors. Stop by and check out our brand-new building. Route 106 Motors, located at 569 West Street. Check our website at route106motors.com and be sure to like us on Facebook to find out about all the latest deals and savings opportunities. route106motors.com.
Hey everybody, Mike Allen here. You can hear me live every Wednesday night, 9 p.m. Central Standard Time, right here on TuneIn Radio. Or you can visit my website at www.ontheairwithmikeallen.com for more showtimes, updates, and replays. So remember, every Wednesday night, 9 p.m. Central Standard Time, On the Air with Mike Allen, right here on Armed Radio Global.
Well, it is time. Oh God, we're having just all kinds of fun tonight. Oh, my audio is having just nothing but fun. I have no idea what's going on with this mic. All right. Yeah, it's not even.
I can't afford to be here one more day.
I think this mic has a mind of its own.
You put your lips on mine. I swear to God, you make it all okay. But where there's smoke, there's fire. So baby, breathe it in and stay. You're looking in the mirror, you're doubting yourself again. You're painting different colors all across your skin. Wish you could see what I see. Wish you could know my truth. You captivate me, honey. Nothing I wouldn't do. Oh, you put your lips on mine. I swear to God, you make it all okay. But where there's smoke, there's fire. So baby, breathe it in and stay.
That was, let's see here. If we can get, now we're picking it up. See if we get our mic moved over here maybe a little bit, getting a little bit, pick up the sensitivity of it. Having some mic issues tonight. Hello. Nope. Doesn't seem like it wants to pick up anything. I've had nothing but fun tonight. Let's, sometimes it just does not want to work. Let's crank that mic up. There we go. There we go. Now we're getting it. Now we're getting some audio. All right. But no, we, live on Ustream, live on Spreaker, Straight Talk with Matt Hasley. It is Friday night. It has been one of those nights. Had nothing but problems tonight. I've had my broadcasting software on the one computer. It decides it needs to do an update right when I'm getting ready to go live. So I go do an update, and then it comes up with a EA access violation. So, of course, no support for him. So, I don't know if we're broadcasting on TuneIn right now. I downloaded another program to run it. It took me about 45 minutes to get it all installed, everything good going. But I hope we're on TuneIn. I'm going to check it here shortly. It says we're connected. It's a little bit different software, a lot of graphics, so it wasn't as user friendly as the other one. The other one was really basic, but I'm just like, what's going on? I mean, it's just crazy. If you guys happen to watch the debate last night, I mean, that was, this I had going on is crazy. Drive you nuts. Computers drive you nuts. The debate, from what I got to see of it, it was like an arguing match. They and I think they purposely let it go that way because they wanted to turn it into make them all look like idiots. What amazes me is they're so set on attacking Trump that I think it's doing the opposite. Nobody wants him in there because they're so afraid of him. They're so afraid that if he gets in there, and it's not they're afraid of him. They say it's for reasons because he'll be, he doesn't know how to run the, he might just go off and push the button to launch him. No, he's not one of the good old boys. Marco Rubio told me, he goes, he didn't know what the triad, the nuclear triad was. He thought it was a band from the 80s. Well, I know what Marco Rubio is talking about because in 1980, he was like, he was just a little kid. He didn't even know what a band from the 80s is. But word's out that Marco is Fox News. It's they did an article about the debate last night, and it Fox News. Let me see if I can find it under all this computer stuff I have going on here. But it says if I have one, I got a bunch of stuff going on. I got Glenn Beck. I always thought Glenn Beck was a straight shooter. I mean, he's really gone out and endorsed Trump. But I got some recorded comments of him live on his show this morning that I lost a lot of respect for him. But so it says Fox News says debate disgrace. Fox News exposed as pro-Rubio super PAC. Says another Fox News debate after another 2 hours of proof that Fair and Balanced Network is nothing more than a super PAC for Senator Marco Rubio, who, by the way, had a terrible night. And what's with the comment about his hands, about Donald Trump's hands? He's insinuating he has a small member or whatever it is. I'm like, so Donald Trump stuck his hands up and he says, I don't know if you consider these small hands or not, but he goes, and I guarantee you I'm adequate in the other areas too. I was just like, what's the purpose of this? What caused Marco Rubio to want to talk about somebody's member size? I thought it was pretty pathetic. They want Marco Rubio to win so bad, and he's just doing terrible. They bring out Mitt Romney and John McCain to talk about against Donald Trump. And Mitt Romney, 4 years ago, was talking and praising Donald Trump. And he went through his Twitter and removed all his tweets about Donald Trump that he was praising him. And he cleansed his Twitter. It just makes me think that all of them are little lapdogs. And somebody from some bigwig went up there and said, you know what? You better get out there, take care of this. Go badmouth him. Otherwise, you're not in the good old boy society. Even Newt Gingrich came out and said, Trump's getting attacked because he's not one of the good old boys. He's not in the good old boy club. That's the one thing I like about him. He has nothing to do with any politics. I mean, he is trying to get businesses to come back into this country, and that's what I'm looking for. I would love to see all these businesses that have gone to Mexico and stuff like that. And then they attacked him about some of the products that he buys from his company that are made over in China. Marco Rubio buys 20 shirts, or maybe 100 shirts for his people. I mean, I deal in the golf business. Almost every driver is made in China. I don't know too many that aren't. They can't compete with the cost. They all went to there. Even Ping was the longest holdout. They're made over in China too. It's they have no concept of business. They try to act like they do. Would you go to a accountant to find out what's wrong with a spot on your elbow for skin, or go to an attorney to find out why you need a colonoscopy for something? No, but they think you should. Everybody should be an attorney while they're in Congress and in House and Senate and be a politician. I think they need all term limits. They got in there, they found out it's good, they didn't have to do anything, they could sit on their ass and still make money. And what I don't like is they serve one term and they got a pension for life. You could be the worst senator or congressman there is, and you're set for life with health care for life. What's that tell you? There's something wrong with our system. You got military people that go over, get a limb blown off, and they're fighting at the VA to get seen. And you got congressmen that are getting, all their medical for life, and they don't have to go through the VA. They can go anywhere, and it's taken care of. What's wrong with this picture? We make a commitment to our soldiers. Our soldiers go over. They don't choose to go over there and fight. They get sent over by somebody, the bureaucrat that's sitting on his ass that's never gone anywhere. That's half of them have never even spent time in the service. I don't know what it's like. I spent 3 years active. I know what it's like. I spent a year in Korea. Right now, Korea is one of the hot places I would really not want to be right now. You got back and forth comments. Unless you've been in the military and you don't understand it, everybody thinks that they that, oh yeah, these guys go over and they're just psychos. They want to kill people and that's all they want to do. No, I'm sorry, but there's psychos that are that way that stay here every day. Have nothing to do with the military. We have people that sit there and they do so many things for this country and it's overlooked. They don't even get an attaboy. You look at finally, how many years did it take that the Fort Hood shooter, that Major Hadal Hassam or whatever his name was? Let's see here. There's an article out that came out today. Let's see. I'm wondering how far it is down on my. I got a ton of. I think I had it up on the. I'm just my. Everything got screwed up because of my audio. I had to reboot my computer several times, so all my articles that I had up and everything going that was set to go is not there anymore. But let's see here. Oh, here you go. It says military jury. Okay, yeah, you got to. It says military jury for Nadel Hassan, the Army psychiatrist convicted in a November 2009 shooting rampage, left 13 dead, 31 wounded, was sentenced to death Wednesday by military jury. Prosecutors had sought the death penalty, saying Hassan's murderous rampage left tragic and devastating loss for victims and loved ones. Of course. He sat there yelling Allahu Akbar, and for what they do. For the longest time, they sat there and called it a workplace violence. Finally, it was took a long time before they finally came through and said that it was an act of terrorism. He he was born in Virginia, and he somehow was radicalized. So, and I'm not just saying that's not the only one that's going to happen. You're going to have more and more over time because they find it's like gang members. They find somebody that'll pay attention to them, and then that's what they kind of gravitate to. You see that a lot with gang members. They don't have a good family life at home, so what do? They, get their family to become the gang. Well, that's what these radical jihadists, they feel that, for our family and for Allah, that it's like the lady from Russia, where she cut off that, a little young toddler's head and then walked around the streets for an hour carrying his head, severed head. And nobody did anything for an hour. I'm like, what's wrong with that? And then she said, Allah told me to do it. When she got to court, she's waving around like she's, at a parade. Not caring, no care in the world, no remorse, anything. Yeah, you wonder how people get to that extreme. Let's see here. I'm switching screens there, but I had I'm going to hang on to this one. It's an article I want to do because it's got audio. I want to get my audio fixed before I go playing this video and have it come over. But I don't know if you happen to see, what they had the Super Tuesday election laws. And more than 60,000 people are calling for the arrest and prosecution of former President Bill Clinton. alleging he violated election laws by entering multiple polling stations in Boston and other Massachusetts areas on Tuesday. And they have him on video doing it, going around shaking hands. Well, you're not supposed to campaign and be able to go into any polling place and campaign. He doesn't belong there. He's not registered to vote there. So he's going in campaigning. It says Secretary of State William Gavin told the New York Times his office had to remind some of our poll workers that even a president can't go inside and work the polling place. He can go in, but he can't approach voters. He can continue. We just took extra precaution of telling them because this is not an unusual occurrence. He says you don't usually get a president doing this. Yeah, I mean, they got video of him walking up, shaking hands with all the election judges and everything like that. I mean, with Tuesday, they had multiple complaints of people were going to vote for Trump and the vote flipping to Rubio or the vote flipping to somebody else. So Roger Stone from StoneZone.com has gotten a team of lawyers together, and they're trying to do is they're going to go through and see if they can find out if there's any election fraud going on. It said that this came out off Infowars.com. John Brown from Infowars brought out this article, and it says on Super Tuesday, the gloves came off. Reports of vote switched from Trump to Rubio are flooding a local Austin talk radio station. I mean, that worries me. You know, even being a computerized voting thing, I've heard of ballot stuffing before, but when somebody, if they want to, they could write the programming in these computers to do anything they want. You know, it's getting to be where, everybody's talking about, people voting for Bernie. Bernie won out hands down in South Carolina, wherever it was, and he walks away with less votes. And you're like going, what? The Bernie Sanders supporters are like, so it tends to make you believe that it doesn't matter what you do anyway, they're gonna rig it whatever they want. I'm for a certain candidate, but I'm not for anybody to do anything illegal to get that candidate elected. And some people will do anything. They like for better of the party. But the audio that I heard today, and I was gonna talk about it. Glenn Beck, he talked about being on the debate stage with Trump and Cruz and Rubio and all them, and he goes, if he was on stage next to Trump and had a knife, he would continually stab him until they pulled him off. I'm going, I was like, you would do what? How does he, if someone from, it doesn't matter what news agency it was Fox, NBC, CBS, I don't care who it is. They come out in a radio station and they said that about any candidate. They said that about Hillary. If they said that about President Obama, they would be done. I don't know how he. I mean, I don't know if there's going to be any backlash for this, but I just was like, what did he? I can't believe he said that. I mean, I always thought he was, for the conservative movement, but when you're so for the conservative movement that you would kill somebody and talk about it and joke about it, something's wrong. They joked about killing Trump, about assassinating Trump. And there's an article out right now, and it's on StuWeb.com. Stu Webb is a noted whistleblower. And I have the audio, but I don't think I can get it to play over tune in. So let me see if I can get... and this is from his insiders, the people that he knows. It says... and this is coming from... It says... this is by Tom Hennigan, international intel expert. It says it can now be reported CNN, and it's got the phone number there. Now reports that Hillary Clinton, subject of FBI criminal investigation reference, that Brian Pagliano immunity deal, a.k.a. plea bargain, Mitt Romney and Jeb Bush have hired retired FBI counterintelligence thug Mitt Romney, a relative Craig Stonestreet, to activate a domestic kick squad operating out of Overland Park, Kansas, to assassinate Donald Trump within 2 weeks. That's what's coming out right now. That's what they're reporting. I hope to God that that story's not true. You know, you might disagree with somebody's politics, but I don't believe in taking them out. You know, they're so afraid of Trump becoming president that they would try to crash the system to hijack it and get Hillary elected. Well, if that's the case, if they do that, I'll never vote Republican again. I'll be done. Because if the will of the people is not there, the majority of the people that want Trump elected, whether you like it or not. I didn't like some of President Obama's policies, but I would never want to see anybody assassinate somebody running for president, somebody or a president. I mean, it's just crazy to think that could be a possibility. I heard that Donald Trump wears a bulletproof vest when he's at campaign spot. You look at him. He looks heavier through the top front here, and it's probably because he's got a bulletproof vest on. Probably his suit coat is bulletproof. I mean, it's pretty scary. I'm going to see if I get my audio fixed, get it ready by Monday. I'll play that actual audio, and I'm sure it'll probably hit it won't hit the mainstream media, that's for sure. They won't report on anything. You know, you look at the media is programmed to report on the same thing over and over and over. You hear something, they'll say, oh, gas prices raised, 30 cents. Oh, they're jumping up or whatever. And every media, from affiliate will be announcing that same article. They program them what to talk about. They talked about last week. The discussion was Donald Trump and not refuting the KKK. Well, Infowars.com, Alex Jones and they went through and they found 15 instances where he's refuted the KKK. But how come the mainstream media has nothing to say about Hillary Clinton? I talk about, see if I can find that article here. It's, it was talking about how Hillary, no, that's, here we go. Mainstream media, it ignores Hillary's KKK ties. It says media once again attacks Trump on David Duke, but ignores the Clinton KKK ties. Hillary and Bill both praised Robert Byrd, the former exalted cyclops of the KKK. Yet the media ignores the fact and attempts to connect Trump with a terrorist group. So this guy's, he quit. He quit because he went into government. He wanted to get elected, so it's bad. No, he still has that same mentality. He's just now in a closet. Hillary Clinton and Bill Clinton were friends with Robert Byrd. Donald Trump, just because he was endorsed by the head of the KKK, doesn't mean he believes, all what KKK talks about. So I don't think Donald Trump's a racist. I think Donald Trump is, I don't know what you'd call him, a nationalistic person. He's for the USA. He wants to make USA better. He's talking about, and they're talking about how you build the wall. They're giving him crap about it. And I said, well, he said it. He goes, I charge 35% import tax on all, like Carrier. That was one of the companies that left. I agree with that. You want to have these businesses here, or you want to have them over in Mexico shipping stuff in for nothing? They're paying them $4 a week or whatever it is to work there. Or do you want to charge them 35% income or import tax? And eventually they're going to go, hey, we better move back to the United States. So we got a trade deficit that's unreal. This TPP, Trans Pacific Partnership, is going to kill us. We have products that are coming into the country that pay no import tax, but the ships, when they leave, carry almost nothing. There's no trading, even trade. We don't make anything hardly anymore. You look at Cadillac, the North Star engine. Where do you think it means, North Star? Well, it's made up in Canada. You look at almost every Golf manufacturer, they're made in China. I name them Mizuno. Mizuno might be in Japan, but you have TaylorMade, Ping, Callaway, probably Wilson. Just about every one of them. That driver head is made in China. And the bad part about it is the black market for golf equipment is just about as big as the regular market. They make two copies. One goes out one door, one goes out the other. How do you stop that? You can't. You don't know. You can't police it. And the companies cannot compete with these other companies that will sit there and get them made in China. So what they want to do, if they want to solve it, then they're going to have to charge import taxes on it. And if you start charging import taxes on it, China is going to get all pissed, and then we're going to have a big fight on our hands. But you have to do it. We can't just sit there and kill ourselves. Sooner or later, you have to do something about it. There was a guy on one of the talk show guys on MSNBC went off. He just said, and just lit up. He went up. He lost it. And I agree with him 100% because he says the numbers that are going on right now cannot work out. We're screwing ourselves. We're more worried about wanting to do is make sure we don't offend somebody than making sure that our country is getting the right, a fair shake for what we trade. it's we got stuff going on. It says, we were talking earlier how if it's going to actually charges are going to come about it, but apparently FBI grants immunity to Clinton staffer. Charges a possibility. So the Department of Justice, the case. Oops. No. I hate these things. But it says the case. No, I don't want. I got an ad pop up there, but the case against former Secretary of State Hillary Clinton's private email server is heating up. Just 2 days after the Senate or State Department released the latest batch of Clinton's 52,000 pages of emails, come news on Wednesday evening, March 2nd, 2016, the Department of Justice and the FBI have granted immunity to Brian Pagliano, the former Clinton staffer who set up the private server she used during her tenure. The news of the immunity deal leads to speculation that criminal charges could be imminent for Clinton and her aide in the cases. She was, just as she secured frontrunner status for the Democratic presidential nominee with 7 Super Tuesday wins. So the Washington Post was first to report the immunity deal for Pagliano. Pagliano is a former information technology official with the State Department. As Hill pointed out, he is key figure in the investigation whether Clinton legally transmitted classified information over the private server. Since Pagliano was the only one who set up the server, he knows everything about it. He knows if there were any security measures, such as encryption, taken if the classified information would flow through it. Pagliano would have been privy to conversations about how the server would be used and what would happen if classified information was sent or received. In the first step, the FBI investigators reviewed all of Clinton's emails. Now the investigation has reached a new phase. Intelligence agency, State Department, the FBI is trying to decide whether over 2,000 emails retroactively deemed classified were classified at the time they were sent. And if you don't think they were classified at the time they were sent, I got a bridge to tell you. That is crap. It just makes no sense. It says Pagliano has been reluctant to speak with investigators for months, refused. Last fall, he invoked his Fifth Amendment rights and refused to respond to the House Select Committee on Benghazi and any other congressional hearing questions. So if they give him immunity, he either is going to talk or they're going to charge him too. I bet he starts tweeting like a bird. I know if I had to be the one that was, would I want to go to federal prison? Well, no. I'd be like, I did this. You know, so I used to run a hosting company, a small hosting company, and I had my own data center in Atlanta. Well, the web hosting for what she had her Clinton email, it would probably have been set up somewhere similar. I mean, because I could set up domains and everything, and or Clinton email domain was hers. Well, so they were doing is running it out of there. If it doesn't have any of the encryption software the government supplies, then it was open. I had them actually it's amazing what they can do. They attacked my server. All of a sudden, I got on my machine one day and it was down. And I called the data center, the guy who ran it for me, and he says some credit card company had called, and it was, I don't know, Visa or MasterCard, one of the big ones, the big processing, said that somebody had accessed it and was using it they weren't using my email, but they were using files on it, so it wouldn't go to them. It was pulling numbers off and doing stuff from credit cards, and it was run through my system. I don't know how they do it. It just amazes me. And every word or file, which there's like probably 70 to 80, maybe 100 or so files, were all encrypted and password protected. So I had to go through and manually delete each file from the root server, which I don't normally have. I don't normally log into. I mean, that's something that would never be. So if they can get access to it, if they get access to anyone, if it's not, backed by, I mean, they're getting into the VA and they're getting into, classified documents, people, federal government people, IRS. I guarantee you they got into Hillary Clinton's emails. And I guarantee you that was accessed by probably China and North Korea and Iran and anybody that wanted to look at it. Russia. I mean, they were probably going, yeah. I mean, once you put a mic in her, put a little mic right on her lapel pin, I mean, they have access to it. And she says, oh, well, they weren't marked classified at the time when they sent them. Well, that's probably because you stripped the headers off of them. But I mean, everything that a Secretary of State does is just about classified. They even have information that she talked about the whereabouts of Chris Stevens before he was attacked. So, I mean, I don't know what's going to happen out of it. Would I see, could I see her getting indicted and having to step out and then maybe Joe Biden step in, which a lot of people would love that because I think Joe Biden's well liked over her. Everybody calls him good old Joe. He's comical because he doesn't know he'll talk about stuff, right after he says it, he's like, the sheriff's like going, oh. I mean, not sheriff, sheriff. That was my old sheriff, used to do that. But the president goes, oh my God, I can't believe you just said that, So when I was thinking of that, my old sheriff popped into my head. He was hilarious. He'd get on the media. They loved to interview him because he knew he was going to say something stupid. He got on there the one night and a car was trying to cross the train tracks or whatever and got hit. And so the media showed up and they were talking to him. They said, so what happened, Sheriff? And he says, well, that thing that goes ding, 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 ding might not have been working. So that made the news. And so I heard that from a lot of police officers, a lot of San Antonio police officers. We're talking about, I think it's going to be the 14th, so 10 days from now. I'm going to have on Catherine McKenzie, the NRA liaison, and we're going to talk about the NRA's mission, gun control, and different laws and stuff. So I think that's going to be a good show. You're talking about about gun control, and everybody goes, well, I don't need a gun, I'll just dial 911. Well, this is an article that was shared to me by a friend of mine who is a police officer in Texas. I won't say what department he works for, but he shared this article And it says, this come off News 4 San Antonio. It says 1 out of every 5 911 calls in San Antonio not answered by a person. It says in San Antonio, 1 out of every 5 911 calls is not answered by a person. The caller is put on hold and hangs up before an operator can come on the line. Dispatchers are told News 4 troubleshooters in the city doesn't have enough people handling emergency calls. It's a problem the city identified 10 years ago, but still hasn't fixed it. So we took a look at those unanswered calls, which police refer to as abandoned calls. They're an important measure of how 911 call center is performing. How'd you like to call 911 and you be in your house on a Friday night just because there's so many other calls coming in and somebody's broken in and you go on to voicemail? Or you're sitting there and your father or mother or husband or wife has a heart attack and you're trying to get EMS to come and it goes to voicemail. It says News 4 obtained documents that show San Antonio's abandoned call rate is 23%. By comparison, Austin and Dallas said they have abandoned call rates below 1%. It said Lynn Kirkman was involved in a frightening 4-car accident back in mid-January. She found herself stuck in her car high up on the flyover ramp from Highway 281 to Loop 410. I know where that's at. I've been there. Kirkman called 911 in a panic. Goes, I dialed it, and I get a recording. The recording says, please remain on the line on hold until the next available person can answer your call. Said she couldn't believe it. Because in the 911 situation, you would think they would answer immediately. And I sat on hold for 10 minutes. Current and former dispatchers tell the troubleshooters that the city's 911 communications center is severely understaffed. And I guarantee you this is not just one department. I guarantee you there's more departments that this is running into. I would bet they're all over the United States, different departments are running into this. So they interviewed a former dispatcher who was fired by the city and who asked that they didn't want to show her face because it might jeopardize her current job. Her claims were corroborated by dispatchers who still work for the communication center but don't want to come forward due to fear of retaliation. They do not have enough staff to sit in those chairs to take the high volume of calls that you have. The former dispatcher told us when a 911 call comes in, it is answered by a call taker. The city says the average time is 10 seconds, which would meet national standards. But when all operators are busy, the automated system answers and puts the call on hold. If the caller hangs up before the person picks up, it becomes an abandoned call. Operators are supposed to call back abandoned calls as soon as possible. You don't know if somebody's getting their house broken into. You don't know if they're being assaulted. You don't know if they're being robbed. You don't know if they're being stabbed. Said all these factors come into play. It's a serious thing, the former dispatcher told him. So, I mean, you think about that. You're sitting in your house and you call 911 and it goes to a voicemail. They had, locally here where I'm at, they had a non-emergency number. So if you had something to, report that was not emergency, you could call down. You didn't have to tie up the emergency lines. Well, they quit staffing that non-emergency line. And got rid of it and forwarded it to where you had to call 911. It would come up with a message. So even on a non-emergency call, you had to call 911. Did not matter what the call was about. And it was for a non-emergency situation. You still had to call 911. So I just thought that was kind of a tough thing to do to tie up the 911 system, especially on a Friday, Saturday night. If somebody's calling about, it could be abandoned vehicle that's been there for 4 days and they just want to report it. It just, some of those things stand out. Right now in this area we have going on, and there are people working in tandem teams of 4. So, watch out where your area is. And they come to your house and they try to tell you that they're from either the electric company or the water company, and they have to check stuff. And what they do is one will keep you occupied, and the other ones will rob your house blind. They'll get you busy, get talking to you, and it's just pretty pathetic how people are. So I always just say, don't open your door. When I do open my door, I usually have a 45 sitting in my hip, and I got a 100-pound pit bull. And people go, oh, well, pit bulls don't normally get 100 pounds. Oh, I don't know, but he is. He is 100 pounds. He's a big boy. He's part pit lab mix, and he is huge. I loved it when when they were coming to. I had everybody come. I had Carly Fiorina. I had Bernie Sanders people, Clinton people. You name it. They come to my door trying to see if we'd caucus for their candidate. And when they saw that dog, they want nothing to do with it. They want to get out of there. I was like, yep. And he is a great guard of the house. I tell you what, I hate to see if somebody came in. But that's what he's there for. So, I mean, you think about somebody that they tell you, oh, you don't need a gun. Well, that's the people that are telling you don't need a gun are protected by tons of guns. So that's what I have a problem with. It says we have one local city. I'm sorry, it's not local, but it says city installs more surveillance cameras and plate readers. It says East Bay community of Orlinda is installing more video surveillance cameras and automatic license plate readers at some location. You go to Chicago, they got license plate readers all over the place too. They trigger if your car is stolen. We have cameras. I don't know if you look, you drive around, you got cameras on every corner. So, it really surprises me that the police should be able to tap into those cameras. And if you see a guy, that commits a crime in a certain location, they get his description of the vehicle, they should be able to pretty much, track where that car is headed, especially during the daytime. I don't know so much at night, but you talk about the Oregon incident. It says feds have arrested Bundy supporters in six states. It says the federal government took action against supporters of Cliven Bundy on Thursday. 2 of Bundy's sons, David Harold Bundy and Melvin D. Bundy, were arrested by federal agents. 2 other sons, Ammon and Ryan Bundy, were arrested by feds on January 26th after Loy Finicum was killed by the government during a non-violent occupation of the Malheur National Wildlife Refuge in Oregon. Cliven Bundy was arrested on February 10th in Portland, Oregon. A federal indictment names the elder Bundy as the leader and beneficiary of the conspiracy to prevent the government from seizing cattle near the Bundy Ranch in Nevada in April 2014. Bureau of Land Management officials backed down after public backlash. says the arrest of 12 people in 6 states, followed by a grand jury indictment in Nevada's U.S. District Court on Wednesday. The indictment charges the Bundy supporters with conspiracy to commit offense against the government, against the United States, conspiracy to impede or injure a federal officer, weapon use and possession and assault on a federal officer, threatening a federal law enforcement officer, obstruction of justice, extortion to interfere with commerce and interstate travel in the aid of extortion. This investigation began the day after assault against federal law enforcement officers and continues this day. Said U.S. Attorney Daniel Bogdan said in a statement, "We will continue to work to identify the assaults and their role in the assault and the aftermath in order to ensure the justice is served." The corporate media is reporting that one of the arrested men, Jerry DeLemus, is connected to the Trump campaign. DeLemus is a co-chair of the Veterans for Trump in New Hampshire. The organization is not formally part of the Trump campaign. The arrested Bundy supporters will likely face stiff penalties and long prison terms. In April 2014, Harry Reid, the Democratic Senate minority leader, called Bundy supporters domestic terrorists. So that just tells you they're about screwed from the pooch. You know, they and I had to laugh. I don't know if you haven't gotten to see the debate last night. I'm watching the debate. I look up and I see Ted Cruz talking, and he's answering a question. And I'm like, what the heck is on his lip? And I thought maybe it was one of those little boom mics that went up. And I'm like, no. And then I look. Next thing you know, it's on his lower lip. And next, it goes right in his mouth. And I go, I think he just ate a booger. I was like, oh, my God. And I had to laugh. I just thought it was hilarious. And what reports? It come out. It said, did Ted Cruz eat a booger during the Republican debate? Well, I think he ate a burger, a shit burger, but it wasn't a booger. I don't know. But it was just shocking. I was like, what the heck is going on there? Just funny things you pick out. But I mean, if you looked at that debate, tell me, did they look like they had the hot lamps on Trump? It looked like they were trying to do is to melt him or something. You know, you're talking about the Bundys and stuff that's been going on. It says the FBI have joined forces with the National Science Foundation and invested $1 million to a project aimed at gathering information on people who share anti-government internet memes online. The goal of the project, according to the FBI, the project is aimed at modeling the diffusion of information online and empirically discriminating among models of mechanisms driving the spread of memes. We explore why some ideas cause viral explosions while others are so quickly forgotten. Our analysis goes beyond the traditional approach of applied epidemic diffusion processes and focuses on cascade-sized distributions, popular time series in order to model the agents, process, just a whole bunch of blah, 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 blah. I'm like, so they're going to do is keep track. If you share a meme to your friend because you thought it was funny, like I saw the Peanuts cartoon that came out. I think I saw it yesterday. I shared it because I thought it was funny. It says, I think it was Lucy. She said to Linus, Trump's a racist. And he goes, really? Where's the proof? And she goes, well, he didn't refute his endorsement by Robert Byrd of the KKK, David Duke of the KKK. And he goes, really? He goes, so Hookers for Hillary endorsed Hillary. Does that make her a prostitute? And I thought that was good. I thought that was cute. They had a picture today, and I shared it, and it was Hillary Clinton in one frame, and it had Bernie Sanders in another. Bernie Sanders just in a suit, standing there, and Hillary Clinton had all these different companies that she's being backed by, big businesses that were all like she was a NASCAR driver with all the logos all over her. And immediately, one friend of mine, he goes, well, you feeling the burn? And I'm like, no. I said, I just dislike her more than more than Bernie Sanders. And he goes, well, I won't argue with you there. But, you think of if freedom of speech like that on Facebook, and they're going to start tracking you for it because you make a joke or a comment. So what are they going to do? They're going to start Comedy Central when they make a joke about some candidate. Are they going to start tracking them and start following them around with the black SUVs and listening to them and start tracking all their phone calls and see if they're really plotting against the government to make a cartoon against them? They had, let me see if I can find the article. There was one about, he was, let me see if I can find it. Had some information about, here we go. It says, and this is really scary. You think about this happens like this. It says, Larry Nichols revealed to Alex Jones the mysterious black SUV belonged to the DHS, according to local police. DHS told him they had jurisdiction and get out of their way. Said told him he was on a one-way ticket to Guantanamo. I mean, they pulled a DHS SUV in his driveway, and when he would walk out, the DHS SUV would leave and then come back. Larry Nichols is a whistleblower, and he wrote in coming out, he's got throat cancer, and he figures there's not much they can do to me, but he wants to do is make sure, let me see here. They were talking about how he was talking about America under attack. He says, it says under attack, how the Tea Party can fight back and win. And it talks about all the different chapters, of it is what is actually happening with Washington and how it changed and why. United States Congress. He has connections on the Supreme Court. He's got connections he's a former CIA. So he knows more about what's going on. And he knows about how dirty Hillary Clinton is. And that's what he comes out and says. And he's got them SUVs following him while he's sitting in his driveway. And the police come out to question the people or the DHS, and they tell them that they don't have any jurisdiction to just leave him alone. That's a little scary. They have that happen around. They had, talking about Facebook, I was saying as you put memes on there. Well, apparently a woman puts a vulgar Facebook post about an ex-friend on Facebook, and she is facing felony charges. It says, a Bay City woman is in hot water for allegedly posting some nasty comments about a former friend on Facebook. On Monday, October 19th, a Bay County Sheriff's Department or deputy responded to a 45-year-old woman harassment complaint. So that's last October. It says the woman told the deputy a former friend, hers, 35-year-old, was posting derogatory comments on Facebook, court records show. The complainant provided the deputy with copies of the Facebook post. Court records show them referred to the other woman as a slut. Said we all know her skanky ways, referred to as a skinny, tall cokehead, and advised others don't catch an STD from her. And it posted the woman's phone number, court records showed. The complainant told police since she received numerous calls from unknown men inquiring about her. She went on to say the ordeal was awful, embarrassing, and potentially detrimental to her career. And now, the lady that posted them could be getting felony charges. Wow. So be careful what you post, because it might come back to haunt you. You know, these kids, they put all kinds of pictures. They take pictures of themselves and doing all kinds of stupid stuff, and then they go for a job. And what is the first thing they do? They look on your Facebook. Let me see. Let's run their name on Facebook. So, you know, you're talking about, earlier we talked about gun control. And they talked about how the Second Amendment was not written for hunting. And Bernie Sanders wants to get rid of all guns that do not pertain to hunting. Well, Rubio criticized the gun control, does not mention his vote for the 1999 gun ban. It says Rubio did not explain why he voted for such a gun ban if gun control is not effective against criminals to begin with. Fox News host Brett Baier initiated talk on guns and asking Rubio, what limits would you draw around the Second Amendment? Rubio responded by saying he would allow as few limits as possible to be drawn. I saw an article that came out, and it was total freaking trash lie. And it said that the NRA is trying to do is allow access of guns to felons. And that is not true. That's freaking just total out-and-out lie. It doesn't matter what, they talk about. It's okay to make that statement as long as it's you're on that side of the politically correct, as they want to call it. But I'm sorry, but I'll teach my kids how to use guns. I'll teach them how to defend themselves. And I would rather be safe than sorry, waiting to dial 911 and hoping that the dispatcher answers it and it doesn't go to voicemail. Other news, de Blasio, New York, he comes out and he says he'd like to credits less guns because of more stabbings. New York Mayor Bill de Blasio is trying to put a positive spin on the recent rash of stabbings and slashings. He says, I'm not a criminologist, but I can safely say that guns are being taken off the street in an unprecedented way. Some people, unfortunately, are turning to a different weapon. It just, it doesn't matter what they go. You take away a gun, you don't allow them to defend themselves, they're going to use a knife. And I guarantee you the people that's using that knife is probably a felon, and they don't want to get popped for having the gun. It's easier to do is get caught with a knife and not do as much time. It doesn't say, but then there's related stories. I went through this. It said, man stabbed in head with screwdriver. Man stabbed in subway for 50 cents. Hasidic Jew randomly stabbed in Brooklyn. Man stabbed in New York City subway station. Woman stabbed with needle on subway. NYPD lieutenant stabbed in Brooklyn. McDonald's employee stabbed to death in the Bronx. Yeah. So, you know, people don't realize they don't realize as a law enforcement, we used to be trained in edged weapons, they call it, edged weapon defense. And for somebody that's skilled with a knife, for you to realize they have a knife and are coming at you and to defend yourself and maybe get off 2 shots that could incapacitate that attacker, people don't realize how far it is. 21 feet. You have to do is because they're moving, and if somebody's good with the knife, they're hiding it. It's not out in the open. So yeah, it's crazy to think what people have that mentality that gun control, getting rid of guns is going to solve it. Well, they're going to do is make a gun out of something else. They'll make it. They'll make a potato gun. They'll do anything. They're going to make some type of a gun, a projectile weapon. We have people thinking that we're going to have some utopian society if we get rid of guns. I'm sorry, but some of these people, it doesn't matter what you do. They're just freaking retarded. And I don't mean that as being any knock on somebody that's mentally handicapped. I'm talking about these people are freaking losers. They're thugs. They would rather kill somebody. They have something wrong with their brain. And I'm not talking about they have a learning disability. They have something physically wrong with their brain that think that they can kill somebody and not care about it. They don't think that there's anything wrong with that. It's like this teen. Family was trying to get him up for school. So it says an argument over getting out of bed for school led to a teenage boy to open fire on 4 family members, including his grandmother and 2 young children, in an East Nashville home, Metro Police said. Nashville police spokesman said that shortly after, before 7:17, weird time, a relative was attempting to wake up the 16-year-old boy inside the home. There was a quarrel about getting up and getting ready for the day when at some point the 16-year-old ran into a closet, got a 9mm handgun, and started firing. Bullets struck the teen's 67-year-old grandmother twice and his 12-year-old sister and 6-year-old nephew. Both were grazed by gunfire. The teen nephew is his older sister's son, Mumford said. The teen also tried to shoot his 42-year-old mother in the living room of the home, but Mumford said the woman ducked behind a couch and avoided being hit. The teen's 2-year-old sister was also in the home when the gunfire broke out, but she was not struck. The teen then fled the home on foot and tossed the gun at a nearby apartment. Lucky that these people weren't killed. I mean, over getting up and going to school. So you tell me that's not mental issues there. This kid has a temperament problem. I mean, that's just flat out scary to think a kid, to resolve his issue, he's going to run in and go grab a gun. I wonder why he had the gun, if that gun was his or what. So, and this is an article that came out. I don't know how true it is, but this is one. It was posted by TMZ. It said, O.J. Simpson, buried knife found at OJ's estate. Said a construction worker found a knife buried on the perimeter of the former O.J. Simpson estate. It's currently being tested by the LAPD in a top-secret investigation, law enforcement sources tell TMZ. The story is incredible. We're told construction worker found the knife years ago. We've had several different stories ranging from several years ago to 1998 when the house was demolished. I'd said the weapon is a folding buck knife. So the law enforcement says the construction worker took the knife to the street where he saw an LAPD cop. He told the officer where he found the knife, and the cop took it. Turns out the cop who worked in the traffic division was off duty at the time working security for a movie shoot at a house across the street in Rockingham. Our sources say the officer took the knife home and kept it for years. In late January of this year, after the cop retired from LAPD, he contacted a friend who worked in the LAPD robbery homicide division. The cop told his friend about the knife and said he was getting it framed to put on his wall. He wanted his friend to get the departmental record number for the Nicole Brown Simpson Ron Goldman murder case, which he's planning on engraving in the frame. We're told the friend was ignorant and told his supervisors. Should have. The brass was outraged and demanded the retired cop turn the knife over, which he did. Says our sources said the knife is currently being tested for hair and fingerprints. It will be moved to the serology unit next week, where it will be tested for DNA and biological evidence. One source familiar with the investigation tells us cops who eyeballed the knife think it could still have blood residue on it. But it's hard to know without testing it because it's extremely rusted and stained. So the investigation is top secret. It's been logged into LAPD's computer system outside the official case file to maintain security. Our sources say since OJ was found not guilty, it's still an open case. That means cops can continue investigating, but OJ cannot be prosecuted again. Double jeopardy. So it'll be interesting to see what they come out with. Do you think it will show that OJ did it? Well, I think he did it. He was a hothead. You don't run like he did with $10,000 cash, ski mask, pistol, and everything, and threaten to commit suicide if you're innocent. In golf news, nice to see Tiger Woods. It says, I'm starting to feel a lot better. Tiger Woods announced progress on his website regarding his return to golf from back problems. So he'd been chipping and putting and hitting light 9-irons, he said. So that's good to see. Golf needs him back in the game. He really draws a lot of people to it. There was a really cool video. If you got to see it, search on there. Hole-in-one in front of Tiger. This young kid, I don't know, he's got to be like 10 or 12 years old. He stands up, hits about a 85, 95-yard shot. I don't know how long it was. They were doing it. It was like a hole-in-one contest. Ton of people there watching. And Tiger's right there on the tee with him. It's some junior contest. And the kid hits it and holds it out for a hole-in-one. I mean, I thought it was really cool. I mean, the kid's got to have that for life, hugging Tiger Woods. And Tiger went over and hugged him big time and high-fived him. And I thought that was classic. I mean, it was really cool to see. So, I mean, yeah, check that out. That's kind of a cool video. One of those you'd love to have, something like that happen. It just really shows that these guys can be, real down to earth at times. I mean, hell, I wouldn't want to be like Tiger Woods, where every time you get gas, you got, 8 to 10 autographs every time you get out of your car. I mean, that'd get a little old. So, the song that I played coming in tonight's show is, it was a Tracy Chapman song, and it was, by my nephew. It was my nephew, I don't know if you got to hear it. It was Scott Stowe and two of the people in his group. They played, and it's acapella. It's got it playing in the background right now, but it was. He impresses me every time I hear him sing. And I mean, what amazes me is they're not using, these $1,000 mics you see these big groups using. So pretty cool. So we're going to take the show out, and we're going to take it out with Scott. Trying to get him on the show here again soon. So everybody, make sure you have a great night, great weekend, and we'll see you on Monday. That's it from Straight Talk.
Give me one reason to stay here, babe, and I'll turn right back around, yeah. Give me one reason to stay here, babe, and I'll turn right back around, yeah. 'Cause I don't wanna leave you lonely. You better make me change my mind. Yeah, baby, I got your number on, and I know that you got mine. You know that I called you, baby, and I called too many times. You can call me, baby, you can call me anytime, but you got to call me. Yeah, give me one reason to stay here. Oh, and I turn around, yeah. Give me one reason to stay here, baby, and I turn right around, yeah. 'Cause I don't wanna leave you lonely. You better make me change my mind. Play a little bit, Tyler. I can love you when I give you what you need. Yeah, it's you I can love you, baby, and I'll give you what you need. Yeah. Oh, I'm too old to go chasing you around, wasting my precious energy. Yeah, so give me one reason to stay here when I turn right back around, yeah. Give me one reason to stay here, baby, and I'll turn right back around, yeah. 'Cause I don't wanna leave you lonely. You better make me change my mind. We'll bring it down right. Oh yeah, I don't wanna leave you lonely. You better make me change my mind.